What up, watch peeps? I lamented not being able to get an SWC bunker in for review. And as you know, those were extremely popular. They sold out super fast. But when I heard they were working on a smaller quartz titanium field watch, I was definitely intrigued. So when the opportunity came to check one of those out, there was no way I was passing it up. So let's take a look. I'm Pete, and we are Chillin' with Watches. Just wanted to give a quick shout out to my man Aaron from the Watch Wit channel. I'll leave a link to his channel in the description. This watch and a couple others I've had in recently have found their way to my channel due to his efforts. He's a great guy with a great channel, so take a few seconds and go check out his channel. Wrist check. I'm wearing a Freestyle Shark today. This is actually an older watch that I just put a new integrated rubber strap on. Gives it kind of a fun, different look. You should get yourself one of these for Christmas. I have a code in the description, 10% off, and you can hook the channel up at the same time. But check out this SWC. This pouch is super cool. I haven't seen one like this before. No other brand really using these. Really soft, supple leather. 3 snap buttons here. And inside we have 2 pouches. On this side we have the SWC ARK. Check this little guy out. This is a really cool, crazy light watch. So you had the bunker, which was extremely popular, and I believe those were 41 millimeters. Now this is a little smaller field watch of theirs at 38.5 millimeters. So as a guy who's not quite ready to swallow the 36 millimeter pill yet, this is a great size for me. Color wise, I think these come in the black like we have here, and there's also a blue, green, and white dial with various strap colors available. And they come in at only $199. Pretty good deal for a titanium watch. This case is great, and not just because it's titanium, but one of my favorite things is these chamfers. They didn't just use the chamfers to kind of soften the corners on the case, but to actually shape the case and slim out the lugs. See how the chamfer kind of gets wider down towards the end, combined with the kind of soft downward turn curve of the lugs. It just creates a beautiful kind of faceted profile. It's extremely thin, and being titanium and quartz, it is literally like air on the wrist. And I think that was the goal here, kind of to create a watch that just disappears on the wrist. As you can see here, it has drilled lugs for easy strap changes. And despite being so slim, it still has a very easy to use crown, just the right size at 6 millimeters. And it is a screw down crown, which a lot of times you don't get on like quartz field watches or watches with just 100 meters of water resistance. The case back is nicely tucked up into, I can say tucked up under the watch into the lugs there. And it's blasted like everything else on this watch. And I just love blasted case backs. I love the way they feel on the wrist. They're always really smooth and never sticky. And this watch has a very thin bezel for all dial kind of look. This version I have here has a very cool matte black dial under a flat sapphire crystal. And now this sapphire crystal has 16 layers of AR on it, and it is just magic. I think as you can see here, this crystal just disappears. I really like these small seconds. They are a fun change from, the standard center seconds we always see. And I think they got the subdial size just right here to fit in between the hands post and the 6 o'clock marker without having to chop away at the 6. I really don't like when subdials have to chop away at the indices. And the orange seconds hand is a nice touch. I love orange hands, but only one orange hand. You can't have them all orange. I think the cathedral hands here are a very nice choice indeed. And if I had to nitpick at something, it's that the lume on the hands looks whiter than the lume on the hour markers. I have a feeling that is a limitation of the amount of lume that can be put on the hands versus the 20 layers of lume that they have on those hour markers. Not a big deal, but it is there. The hour markers are awesome. The many layers of lume giving them almost like a raised kind of 3D look to them. It's a very cool effect. And interestingly, they look kind of creamy yellow in appearance, which is odd because I believe they're BGW9. They glow blue. But again, I wonder if that's because of how many layers of lume there is present there. And it is X1 grade lume, so it is I think that's the brightest available of each type of lume. And you have a color match date wheel here at 3 o'clock to round this dial out. Now this strap, it is very unique and interesting, but I don't like it. not to knock on its quality or anything like that, just personal preference. I don't like the look and feel of this material, and it's Velcro, so the Velcro pulls on itself. You can see here it's already kind of pulling away the material. It's getting all fuzzy. It gets stuff all stuck in it. And this tail end, it just kind of tucks through the spring bar here, and every time hold on a second, let me get my watch off. So every time I put it on, I just end up kind of doing this, where it just kind of slips out from in between the bar and the case there. So you just kind of got to hold on to this end piece when you slide it on. Be a little more mindful about it. But I see what they were going for here. This strap definitely lends to the lighter than air feel on your wrist. And I know a lot of you do love this strap. But hey, straps were made to be changed, and that definitely would not stop me from buying this. I go for something more like this. This is just an MN style strap from AliExpress for like $6 or $7. I think it goes fantastic with this watch. Or even something like this Barton's Silicone if I wanted to do something a little bit more fun. So being a quartz watch, we have no Timegrapher today, but what do you say we take a look at the numbers? Going over the dimensions, we are looking at a 38.5 millimeter case. That comes in 45.5 on the lug to lug, and it measures only 8.5 millimeters thick, has 20 millimeter lugs. Going over some of the other specs, we have this flat sapphire crystal, 20 layers of Swiss Superluminova X1, I'm assuming it is BGW9, and it is running a Ronda 6004.D movement, and it has 100 meters of water resistance. Now on this supplied strap, it comes in at an insane 35 grams. Super light. So let's take a look at it on wrist. And here it is on my 7 1/4 inch wrist. And as you can see, I think it is a really great size for me. So thin, sits really close to the wrist. And you know, I think part of this strap is just, I can't get my head around how insubstantial it is. There's just no hardware whatsoever, so maybe that's part of what bugs me about it as well, but it does look good here in this view. All right, let's take a look at it side by side, some other watches. First up, here it is alongside my 36 millimeter Explorer style build, and I can't help but think this ARK might kill in 36 millimeters as well. Moving up in size a little bit, here it is next to the 41 millimeter Tudor Ranger. And, you know, both being such large dials, I mean, it's definitely smaller than the Ranger, even thinner than the Ranger. But, you know, with that big dial, it kind of wears larger than its size. Lastly, I have an SKX here for comparison, just so you can see the 42 and change millimeters of an SKX. Again, this 38.5 probably wears more closer to 40, I would say. But it's a really comfortable wear, light as air on the wrist. So lastly, let's take a look at that lume.
Peep the lume.
And check that out. Here you can see why I assume it is BGW9. It has that nice cool blue glow. Now, BGW9, not my favorite, only because it's not usually as bright as C3. I'll give you a little comparison here. Here is a C3. It's not X1 or anything, just normal C3. And I don't know how many layers, but very bright. But the 20 layers of lume on this thing more than make up for that difference. This is one of the best BGW9 applications I've seen. I think lume is kind of SWC's specialty, and they've done a really nice job here. So there you go, the SWC ARK. If you want an extremely comfortable quartz field watch, I feel like this is it. This is the kind of watch I would actually want to take hiking or on some other adventures, as it's so light and unobtrusive, you will forget it's there. It's just completely out of the way. All right, before I let you go, sneaker check. Wear my Jordan 1s. Man, I'm up to like 4 or 5 pairs of Jordan 1s. I guess that's my thing. All right, that's it. I'm out. If it's not too much trouble, please like, subscribe, and come back next time. Peace.